herbivorous, which, as you know, means that they reproduce by laying eggs. The females lay the eggs in nests, in the rocks or on the ground, and with the heat of their bodies, they incubate the eggs until the little chicks hatch. Birds don't have teeth, they have beaks or bills, and these can be very different, depending on what that species of bird feeds on. They breathe with their lungs that are connected to bags full of air called air sacs, and these help birds to fly. Also, nature, which is very clever, has made their bones hollow, so they weigh very little, and because of this, it's much easier for them to fly. The skin of birds is covered with feathers. These protect them from the cold and heat. Birds have 4 limbs. The back ones are legs, and the front ones are wings. Together, the wings and feathers are essential for them to be able to fly, and in some cases, so they can swim. Birds are terrestrial, and most of them can fly. Can you think of any birds that can't fly? That's right. Penguins and ostriches are 2 species of birds that cannot fly. Birds have 4 types of feathers. Those that cover the whole body. Flight feathers in the wings that help them to fly. Down feathers, which cover the chest and belly and maintain the body at a constant temperature. And tail feathers that help guide the bird's body like a rudder on a boat. Birds can be classified into several groups according to what they eat. Herbivores feed on plants and grasses. Their beaks are short and strong and can crush seeds and grains. When they only eat grains, they're called granivores. Carnivorous birds hunt and eat other animals, using their strong, curved beaks. Within the group of carnivores, there are insectivores that only eat insects, and piscivores that only feed on fish. These birds have pointed beaks that are long and sharp to help them catch the fish. Remember, birds that eat fish are called piscivorous. The last group, omnivorous birds, includes pigeons and hens, and they eat almost anything. So remember, birds are oviparous, which means they reproduce by laying eggs. Their mouths are beaks or bills, and they breathe with their lungs. Their skin is covered with feathers, and depending on the food they eat, they can be herbivorous, carnivorous, or omnivorous. So, now you know a lot more about birds.
Did you know that the fastest bird is the peregrine falcon? This bird of prey can reach up to 400 kilometers per hour whilst free-falling. Wow, it's so fast! Poor dove if it were to cross its path. On the other hand, the American woodcock is the slowest bird on the planet, flying at a mere speed of 8 kilometers per hour. Oh, check out its cute little babies. Did you know that the fastest land bird is the ostrich? This huge bird, actually the largest in the world, cannot fly, but it can reach up to 70 kilometers per hour. Running! It's faster than a moped. This tiny hummingbird also holds an impressive record. Besides being the smallest bird, it can also flap its wings 200 times per second, or in other words, 12,000 times in a minute. Incredible! They beat so fast that you can hardly even see them. It looks as if they're floating in the air whilst eating. And did you know that the penguin is the aquatic bird champion? Penguins can't fly, and on land they are rather clumsy, but they are incredible in water. Some species can reach the speed of 36 kilometers per hour. They swim 4 times faster than humans can. But the most impressive penguin is the emperor penguin. A person can dive to the depth of 260 meters, whereas this penguin species dives 535 meters deep and can hold its breath for 5 to 18 minutes. It's a bird. It has a beak and feathers, but it seems as if it wants to be a fish. Now we have learnt a few records and fascinating facts about birds. The truth is, it is beautiful observing them fly in the sky or swim in the sea. But as we are always reminding you in Happy Learning, so as to continue enjoying them, we must look after our environment. Do not contaminate the air, the sky, the rivers and seas. We must take care of our nature and all that is around us. And like that, we will be able to live in a happier world.
Look how beautiful and elegant they are. Being able to fly like them must be super fun, right? Eagles are birds that belong to the family of birds of prey and are also carnivores. So they use their strong claws and powerful sharp beaks to hunt and feed. Like this one, which has just caught a fish. The eagles can see and locate their prey from a very long distance because they have excellent vision. They see 4 times better than us human beings. And they also see more colours. It's crazy!
Wow!
Their favourite prey are fish, snakes and rabbits. But they are so strong they can even hunt antelopes and monkeys. Poor thing. Eagles are somewhat solitary birds. During the first 4 years of life, they almost live in solitude. They prefer to go out on their own. But when they grow up and are of breeding age, they look for a partner. And when they find one, they spend the rest of their lives together. In doing so, the males and females work together, building their nests and also caring for their chicks. Eagles live in equality, as all human beings should do. They are also symbols of power and freedom. Some countries have used them for their flags. And the truth is, I am not surprised, because they are the strongest birds and are at the top of the food chain. Which is very unfortunate for this poor fox. Although they do not have predators, many eagles are in danger of extinction. The reason is the same as always: the loss of their habitats due to deforestation, the absence of food, and in some places, the activity of hunters. Fortunately, many countries are becoming more aware of this, and there are conservation programs that are helping keep eagles alive. That's why we at Happy Learning are asking you to help them, that you take care of nature and pollute as little as possible, and that you recycle everything you possibly can. There is room for everyone on our planet. Yes, if we make a little effort, people, animals and plants can all live together and be very happy on this beautiful and wonderful planet.
Why can parrots talk? Parrots are incredible birds. Listen.
Hello, happy friends. Hello, happy friends.
Wow, this parrot is talking to us. But no, parrots don't actually talk, but they imitate lots of sounds almost perfectly, including the human voice.
I like it. I like it.
They achieve this because of their long round tongue and to a vocal organ they have called syrinx. Other birds, like quaker birds or rooks, are also able to imitate a human voice. But this skill has nothing to do with the act of speaking. It's only an imitation of sounds. Another fun fact is that parrots are monogamous. They form couples which last all their lives. They are very romantic. They are also the only birds to eat with their claws. They usually pick up the food with one of their claws, and with it, they bring it to their beaks to eat it. The truth is that parrots are amazing birds, don't you think?
Animal food chain, also known as the trophic pyramid. Every living thing needs energy in order to live. And this energy is found in the food they eat. Living creatures are situated on various levels of the food chain, depending on what they eat. Fruit and vegetables are at the bottom of the trophic pyramid. These are called primary producers, as they can make their own food. They do this through a process called photosynthesis, which is a combination of the sun's energy with both water and nutrients obtained from the soil. On the pyramid's second level are the consumers. The consumers are all living things which feed on other living things. They are divided into 3 groups. The first is dedicated to the primary consumers. These are the herbivores, which are animals that eat directly from the producers, like these zebras or these cows. The secondary consumers are animals which feed on other animals. They are carnivorous and they eat meat, such as these wolves, this eagle, or this shark. Omnivores are also secondary consumers. Do you remember what they are? They are animals which eat both meat and plants, like these pigs, these bears, or even us, human beings. The last of the consumer groups is that of the tertiary consumers. In this group, we find the scavengers, like vultures which feed on dead animals, which are in a state of decomposition. Yuck! That is really disgusting, don't you think? After the consumers, the third level in the food chain is dedicated to decomposers. The decomposers are bacteria and mushrooms which are in charge of consuming animal remains. The functions of the decomposers is really important as they turn organic waste into inorganic material, creating new energy in the form of nutrient-rich soil. This then completes the cycle of life, as the producers in the pyramid's first level benefit from it, and so the whole new food chain starts. The truth is, nature is very intelligent, and therefore we must protect it, as well as respect it tremendously, including all its inhabitants, for as you have just witnessed, all of them, no matter how insignificant they may seem.
Hello happy friends, are you ready to learn? I'm Sarah and today we're going to have a Q&A game that will fly high up in the sky because today it's going to be about birds. Let's start. In terms of reproduction, do Do you know what birds are like? Viviparous, oviparous, oviviviparous, or asexual? Exactly! Birds are oviparous. That means that they reproduce through eggs. Let's get to know a little more about these animals' reproduction. Female birds lay eggs in nests, rocks, or the floor itself, and incubate the eggs with their body heat until these become chicks. Did you know that laying hens in farms hold the world record of laying eggs? They are able to lay 300 a year. That's amazing! So, if laying hens can live up to 10 years, 10 times 300 is 3,000. Laying hens lay up to 3,000 eggs in a lifetime. That's so much. Now let's tackle the next question. Do you know how birds breathe? Through their lungs, through their gills, through their skin and lungs, or through their skin pores when they're flying? Of course, birds breathe through their lungs. And they have two super cool fun facts. Listen carefully to the explanation. Birds breathe through their lungs. These are linked to some snacks called aerial sacs, which fill up with air and allow the birds to fly. Another nature fun fact is that birds' bones are hollow, so they are very light in weight and make flying easier. The truth is that nature is marvellous and so savvy, don't you think? Let's do the last question. How can we know what type of diet a bird has by only looking at them? Through their beak, through their legs, through their size, or through their head? Of course, it's logical. We know what type of diet birds have because of their beaks. But do you know how many beaks there are? If we look closely, carnivore birds have strong and curved beaks, and thanks to them, they are able to eat meat and hunt their prey. Within the carnivores, we have those which are piscivorous, who eat fish. They capture them with their long and pointed beaks. Herbivore and carnivorous birds feed from vegetables and grains. Their beaks are short and strong, and with it, they grind the seeds and herbs they feed from. This parrot's beak, for example, is able to break some dried fruit's shells. And lastly, presenting the hummingbird, the smallest bird on Earth. Because it feeds from the nectar in flowers, it has a very long and sharp beak, and this way it can reach its nectar without breaking the flower. It's a very delicate bird. Well, happy friends, as I always say, I hope you've answered all of the questions correctly. But if you haven't, it's okay, because what's important is that you've learnt lots of things and that you've had lots of fun. Goodbye, happy friends. See you next time. I hope you're always ready to learn. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to Happy Learning TV. Goodbye.
Search us and subscribe to Happy Learning's YouTube channel.
Hello friends and welcome to a new Happy Learning video. Today we're going to learn about the wettest animals on the planet. Presenting the fish. In almost all the places where you can find water, be it either salt water or fresh water, you can also find fish. There are fish of all sorts of sizes, shapes and colors, and yet they all have common characteristics, which you should know. Fish are vertebrates. Their skeleton is made up of bones or cartilage. They are also cold-blooded. Their temperature is not constant, meaning it depends on the water temperature. This fish looks really cold. All fish have extremities in the form of fins, as you can see in this image. Dorsal fins, caudal fins, which is the tail, pectoral fins, pelvic fins, and anal fin. Another really important fact that one must remember is that almost all fish are covered in scales. The gills are the fish's respiratory organ. The respiration process is very interesting. Water enters through the mouth and goes to the gills. The gills then collect the oxygen and distribute it to the rest of the body through the blood vessels. Then the water is expelled through an opening which can be found in the majority of the fish behind their head, which is called the gill flap. Fish reproduce by laying eggs. Therefore, they are oviparous, and their fertilization can be either external or internal. Some fish are excellent fathers, like this one who protects his babies inside his mouth. He looks as if he's going to eat them, but he's actually protecting them. Look at that! Isn't it amazing? Almost all fish are carnivores, eating other fish smaller than themselves, and therefore they each have different ways of defending themselves. The most common action to take is when feeling threatened is to escape as fast as possible, as in to swim away rapidly. But there are other ways of defending themselves that are much more original. For example, this clownfish finds hiding himself among these venomous enemies. Others imitate or camouflage themselves with their background by obtaining the color and shape of the plants and rocks around them. Can you see this fish in the image? Oh, well, there was indeed a fish, and a very hungry one. Look at this. This is the largest fish in the world, the whale shark. Even though it is called a whale shark, you must remember it is actually a shark, not a whale. Whales are not fish. They are aquatic animals, like these friendly dolphins. So never forget, whales and dolphins are not fish, but mammals. Now I have a very important fact you must always remember. It's extremely important. As you already know, fish, as well as many other animals, live in the water. Water is essential for life. And for this reason, we must look after it. We must protect it. There are people who dirty nature by throwing rubbish into the rivers and oceans without thinking about their terrible consequences they're causing. Plastics and substances which contaminate the water kill a huge amount of fish. Turtles, dolphins, whales, sharks, and many more die every day because of contamination. Water is a source of life. We must take care of it and protect it. So now you know, look after nature and all living things, and they can live happily.
The first thing we should know about sharks is that they are fish, and like all fish, they have gills that allow them to breathe underwater. The body of the fish is covered with scales, and in the case of the sharks, their scales are so hard and rough that in older times their skin was used as sandpaper. There are so many types of sharks, almost 400. Some are as small as 15 centimeters. They're as small as a mobile phone. And others, such as the whale shark, can reach up to 14 meters long. They are longer than many of the lorries that can be seen on the roads. There are also sharks with somewhat bizarre bodies, like these hammerhead sharks. Sharks are carnivores and are characterized by being very good hunters. They use their excellent sense of smell and their strong jaws full of razor-sharp and pointed teeth to hunt. Because they use them so much, their teeth tend to fall out very easily. But it's not a problem for them because they grow back very easily. During their lifetime, they can have as many as 30,000 teeth. That's just incredible! Another interesting fact about sharks is that they can go without eating for 6 weeks, roughly a month and a half. That's why sometimes they are so hungry. Sharks are cartilaginous fish, which means their skeleton is made of cartilage instead of bone. The most famous of all sharks is undoubtedly the great white shark. The great white lives in warm waters and can weigh from 700 up to 1,100 kilos. Its body is large and robust. It's a little scary, isn't it? The whale shark is the largest of all, not only of the shark family, but also of all the fish that live in the sea. It weighs 20 tons, around 20,000 kilos. It also has a high life expectancy, living between 70 and 100 years. Well, that's if we let them live in peace. Did you know that sharks are in serious danger of extinction? There are many species of sharks that are on the brink of extinction, and that puts all the oceans of the planet at risk. In order to be healthy, the oceans and seas need to have enough sharks to maintain the balance of populations between different species. Without this balance, we don't know what will happen, but nothing good, that's for sure. That's why we have to take care of them. We mustn't throw garbage and plastics into the sea, and we have to always protect nature, picking up anything that can harm it. Because if we defend nature, we defend all life and living beings, including ourselves. Well, you have already learned some important things about these wonderful fish, the sharks. Aren't they just fascinating animals?
Did you know that the biggest shark that has ever existed was the megalodon? This gigantic beast had a length of 20 meters and weighed 20 tons. The megalodon lived nearly 20 million years ago and disappeared 2 million years ago. It is considered as one of the most powerful predators of history of the vertebrates. And their favorite prey were sea mammals, such as whales and dolphins. It is a shame that the megalodon has disappeared, but to be honest, it would have been really scary. By the way, did you know that its name originated from Latin and it means big tooth? Did you know that sharks can have thousands and thousands of teeth in their lifetime? Sharks have their denture distributed in layers. When a tooth breaks, immediately it is replaced by the layers above. In general, sharks have between 5 and 15 lines of teeth, although the first line is the most important, and it is what they usually eat their prey with. Many scientists have assured us that sharks can have up to 30 million teeth during their lifetime. Did you know that sharks don't stop swimming? Not even for when they need to sleep? This is because of 2 reasons. The first is because of their breathing. Whilst sharks swim, they maintain their mouth open. This way, the water that contains a lot of oxygen passes through their gills and absorbs the oxygen to be able to breathe. The second reason is that, differently from all fish, sharks don't have a swimming bladder, a kind of internal float that fills with air and allows them to float even though they are still. It sounds weird, but it is true.
If a shark stops swimming, it will fall to the bottom of the ocean and drown. Although the sleeping fish is always eaten by the shark.
Do you know what the difference is between seas and oceans? The most important difference between seas and oceans is that seas are a lot smaller and they belong to the oceans. Actually, they are part of them. The seas are the part of the oceans which are closest to land. We all know that on our planet we have 5 oceans. Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic, and Antarctic. But do you know how many seas there are? Well, there are 57. And the largest are the Arabian Sea, the South China Sea, Caribbean Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and the Bering Sea. Did you know that at the bottom of the sea there are volcanoes and large plains? Although a lot of people think that the bottom of the sea is flat, it's not true. Actually, the bottom of the sea is like land. It has mountains, volcanoes, caves, great plains, and even waterfalls. It's so deep and big that although it may seem incredible, there are many places where humans have not yet reached. Actually, 95% of the sea remains unexplored. There's so much to discover. Do you know that the Everest isn't the largest mountain in the world? Well, no. The largest mountain on Earth is in the sea, and it's called Mauna Kea. This inactive volcano, located in a Hawaiian island, measures from the surface to its tip 4,207 meters. But if we measure it from its base, which is at the bottom of the ocean, it measures 10,000 meters high. And if we compare this to 8,848 meters of the Everest, they turn the Mauna Kea into the largest mountain in the world. What is true is that the Everest is the highest point on Earth. What do you think we know more about? Planet Mars or the oceans? Well, although it may seem incredible, we know Mars's surface more and better than the bottom of the sea. Human beings know very little about species which habitat the oceans, and there are still many to be discovered. It's probable that most of these species are very small organisms, but scientists believe that there are still fish and mammals which have not been discovered yet. Each year, we discover a mean of 2,000 new species. Did you know that the sea is the biggest rubbish dump in the universe? Yes, sadly, the sea has been used for a long time as a dump. Without realizing, oceans are the lungs of our planet. More than 50% of the air we breathe is produced at sea. The Mediterranean Sea is the most contaminated in the world. But sadly, most oceans are at an alarming stage. Plastics, pesticides, chemical substances, oil, all affect the sea's health and living things within it. More than 100,000 marine animals, like penguins, whales, dolphins, turtles, fish, and birds die every year only because of the plastic in the sea. Please respect and take care of nature. Don't throw rubbish to the sea or rivers, and always recycle. If we take care of the water, if we take care of the sea, we will make all living things live in a better world, cleaner and happier.
Hello happy friends, are you ready to learn? I'm Sarah and today we're going to learn about the largest shark ever to exist. Today we're going to meet the megalodon, the whale-eating shark. The megalodon was a giant shark that lived within the Earth's seas. It became extinct over 2.5 million years ago, but investigators still don't know why. We have a lot to discover about the megalodon. This gigantic shark measured 20 meters long and weighed up to 50 tons. That's 50,000 kilos. Megalodons would primarily feed from whales, turtles, and smaller sharks. It's used to catch its prey with its humongous mouth. It had 280 sharpened and gigantic teeth. Apart from being the largest fish that has ever existed, remember that sharks are fish. We also know that they could live up to 100 years. We know this thanks to the fossils that have been found. Although there are some people that think that the megalodon still exists, investigators completely deny this. Also, they are sure that they were extinct over 2 million years ago. The closest living relative to the megalodon is a white shark. This shark is also a great hunter. It can reach 7 meters long and weigh 3,000 kilos. Looking at the white shark up close and knowing that the megalodon was much bigger than this, we can just imagine how scary it was. Goodbye, happy friends. See you next time. I hope you're always ready to learn. Goodbye.
Search us and subscribe to Happy Learning's YouTube channel.
Did you know that the spiders are one of the animals that most people are scared of? There are millions of people who have arachnophobia, meaning that when they see a spider, they run away screaming. The majority of these arachnids, of 8 legs, have 6 or 8 eyes, and yet they have poor sight. Did you know that the silk that comes out of the spider's abdomen is much more resistant than steel wire of the same thickness? Well, it is, and it's a lot more elastic. Some say that if you were to use a spider's web with the thickness of a pencil, it could stop a plane in flight. That's incredible! Humans can use the spider's web for many different things, such as bulletproof jackets, threads of suture for stitching wounds, clothes, violin strings, or ropes used to hold a lot of weight, such as the one used by this mountaineer. Did you know that spiders use their webs to hunt as well as to travel? The spider's web is very sticky, and when an insect lands on it, it gets stuck and can't escape. And the spider then makes the most of it to eat it up. They also use their web to make cocoons for their eggs, and some to glide from one place to another with the help of the wind, just like Spider-Man. The truth is, spiders and the webs they make with their silk are one of the most fascinating facts we can learn from our nature. Don't you think?
Fun facts about nature. Which material created by nature is the most resistant? We could think that it's iron or steel, but it's not. According to some scientists, the most resistant material created by nature is a spider's web, which can be up to 5 times more resistant than steel, and it's also very elastic. Spiders use their web to capture prey and feed. But us humans also use it. We use spiders' webs, for example, to make bulletproof vests, suture threads to stitch up wounds, clothes, violin cords, or special ropes that handle many kilos, like this escalator.
Today we are going to learn about the invertebrate animals. You all know that the animals are divided into 2 big groups: the vertebrates that have an internal skeleton formed by bones, and the invertebrates that have no bones. All the invertebrates are oviparous, and we classify them in 6 big groups: sponges, jellyfish, corals, worms, mollusks, echinoderms, and arthropods. The sponges are aquatic animals that are sac-shaped, and the body is full of pores. It is very easy to remember this group because many times we use them in the shower for our personal hygiene. Yes, many of the sponges we use in the shower are invertebrate animals. The jellyfish are invertebrate animals that live in the ocean. Their bodies are gelatinous and have tentacles. The truth is that when they appear in the beach, it is very annoying because their tentacles have small venomous stingers that produce very unpleasant bites. Corals are tiny marine animals that produce limestone residue, which give rise to beautiful shapes. animal? Exactly, it's a worm. Worms are soft and long invertebrate animals that move by dragging their body in the ground because they have no feet. They can be aquatic or terrestrial. There are some worms that can be harmful, and that is why we must be careful with them. Can you see this snail? Well, snails form part of the mollusk group. Mollusks have a soft body without legs and can also be aquatic or terrestrial. Some, like the snail, this clam, and mussels, protect the body with shells. But there are other mollusks that don't have a shell to protect themselves, like slugs or octopuses. The echinoderms are exclusively aquatic animals. Their bodies have calcareous plates that form a shell. Some echinoderms are balloon-shaped and are covered in spikes that they use to defend themselves, like sea urchins. Others are star-shaped and are of course called starfish. The arthropods are the most abundant animals on the earth. Of every 100 animals that exist, 80 are arthropods. These invertebrate animals have the body covered by an external skeleton called a cuticle. The most common way to classify the arthropods is by the number of legs they have. This way we can classify them in 4 big groups. Arthropods with 6 legs. In this group, insects like ants and flies are present. Arthropods with 8 legs, where for example the arachnids like spiders and scorpions are. Arthropods with 10 legs include the crustaceans like crabs and lobster. Arthropods with more than 10 legs like the centipede that, as you can see, has much more than 100 legs and are called myriapods.
The arthropods are invertebrates, meaning they don't have internal skeletons. There are a vast amount of them, including this dancing crab, these dragonflies, this caterpillar, or even all these tiny ants. The arthropods are very different from each other. Or do you think this butterfly and this shrimp have a similarity? Truth is, they don't look alike at all. But yet all arthropods have common characteristics. Arthropod is a Latin word which means artro, joints, and podos, feet or legs. The main arthropod characteristic refers to what their name suggests. They all have jointed legs. Another fascinating characteristic that they all have in common is that their body is divided into segments, many of which, though not all, are protected by an external skeleton, which is used as a shield or a shell. Some arthropods' bodies do not grow at the same rate as their exoskeleton, therefore making them shed it for a bigger size, a process known as molting. Arthropods can be either terrestrial or aquatic. The terrestrials, such as this scorpion, breathe through their trachea, whereas the aquatic arthropods breathe through their gills. Arthropods eat everything. Some are herbivores, such as this caterpillar. Others carnivores, like this praying mantis. And others omnivores, like the wasps, which eat everything. Most arthropods have internal fertilization and are oviparous, meaning they lay eggs to reproduce. Larvae hatch from these eggs and then go through different stages before becoming an adult. The changes is called metamorphosis. As there are so many different types of arthropods, they are classified into 4 large groups depending on the amount of legs they have. Insects have 6 legs, such as an ant, flies, or those really annoying gnats. The arachnids have 8 legs, such as spiders or scorpions. Crustaceans have 10 legs, like this shrimp or this shy crab. And the meropods have more than 10 legs, and their bodies are elongated, like these caterpillars or these centipedes. Now we're going to remember the most important things. Arthropods are invertebrates, and their main characteristics are their jointed legs. Their bodies are divided into segments, and they lay eggs to reproduce, meaning they are oviparous. The terrestrial arthropods breathe through their tracheas, and the aquatic arthropods through their gills. And they can be either herbivores, carnivores, or omnivores. Lastly, and very importantly, you must remember that the arthropods are classified in 4 groups depending on the amount of legs they have. Insects, 6 legs. Arachnids, 8 legs. Crustaceans, 10 legs. And meropods are those who have more than 10 legs and have elongated bodies.
Today, we're going to meet animals with 8 legs and are a little scary. Today, we're going to meet arachnids. Same as insects, arachnids are invertebrates and belong to the arthropods. But don't get confused. Arachnids are part of a different animal group than insects. While insects have 6 legs, arachnids have 8, like you can see in these images. Spiders, scorpions, and dust mites are part of the arachnid family and share a number of characteristics that we need to know. They have 4 pairs of articulated legs, don't have antennae or wings, but do have a pair of clamps by their mouth called chelicera that they use to hold their prey. A fun fact about arachnids is that they can't chew, so they swallow their prey by sucking them in. They suck the soft parts as if with a straw. They're carnivores, and spiders and scorpions feed from insects, other arachnids, and sometimes small reptiles and mammals. An arachnid's body is divided in 2 parts: cephalothorax, consisting of the head, and thorax, joined in a single segment, and the abdomen, that can be segmented or not. Arachnids breathe through tracheas or pulmonary sacs. And when they're born, they look the same as they do when they're adults, but of course they are much smaller. Scorpions are the biggest arachnids. The largest ones can measure up to 20 centimeters. They have huge chelicera in their heads and use them to grab their prey before they inject venom with their sting at the end of their tail. Spiders are the most popular arachnids, but also the scariest. Most of them are venomous, but very few are truly dangerous for human beings. The truth is, spiders are astonishing animals. Also, apart from being able to produce their famous spider web, they are able to hunt their prey in multiple ways. Look, look!
Dust mites are the least popular arachnids because they are so small you can't see them at a glance. They are microscopic. But what is true is that they are everywhere. In every house, there are thousands and thousands of dust mites. Well, now we know a little more about arachnids. The truth is they're very strange and mysterious animals. But they're important for the balance of life, for this marvellous life. Goodbye, friends. See you next time. And don't forget to subscribe to Happy Learning TV.
Do you know how long an ant can live? The answer is surprising because it depends on the type of ant it is and the work it does. Male ants live for a few weeks. Worker ants live for 2 to 3 years. And queen ants can live up to 15 years. That must be because they live like true queens. Can ants swim? Most ants can swim and are known to be very fond of water. In fact, some ants are able to live underwater for 2 weeks without going above water, without coming up to breathe. How many eggs can a queen ant lay per day? Queen ants are the ones in charge of laying the eggs for the colony to grow. And the truth is that it grows very fast because a queen ant can lay between 800 and 1,500 eggs a day. No wonder there are ants everywhere. What do ants eat? Ants are omnivorous animals. They feed on plants and the flesh of other animals, so this means they have to hunt. And the soldier ants are in charge of doing so. Although they are very small, they are very organized and hunt in groups. They are capable of hunting animals much bigger than themselves, such as this worm. Do ants have brains? Yes, and very big ones. In fact, ants are the animals with the largest brains in proportion to their bodies. And they are also super strong, capable of lifting 50 times their own weight. To be equal to an ant, if I weighed 50 kilos, I would have to be able to lift 2,500 kilos. I can't even lift 100. It's a good thing they are so small, because if they were our size, they would be very scary, don't you think? Goodbye, friends. See you in the next Happy Learning video.
Search us and subscribe to Happy Learning's YouTube channel.
Hello everybody. In this video, we're going to learn about our friends, the birds. They're so diverse, and there are so many colours and shapes, it's fun to learn about them. For example, this tiny little hummingbird doesn't look anything like this huge ostrich. And these penguins don't look much like this peacock with its large fan-shaped tail. Well, they may not look alike, but they're all birds and have many things in common. Birds are oviparous, which, as you know, means that they reproduce by laying eggs. The females lay the eggs in nests, in the rocks or on the ground, and with the heat of their bodies they incubate the eggs until the little chicks hatch. Birds don't have teeth, they have beaks or bills, and these can be very different depending on what that species of bird feeds on. They breathe with their lungs that are connected to bags full of air called air sacs, and these help birds to fly. Also, nature, which is very clever, has made their bones hollow, so they weigh very little, and because of this, it's much easier for them to fly. The skin of birds is covered with feathers. These protect them from the cold and heat. Birds have 4 limbs. The back ones are legs, and the front ones are wings. Together, the wings and feathers are essential for them to be able to fly, and in some cases, so they can swim. Birds are terrestrial, and most of them can fly. Can you think of any birds that can't fly? That's right. Penguins and ostriches are 2 species of birds that cannot fly. Birds have 4 types of feathers. Those that cover the whole body. Flight feathers in the wings that help them to fly. Down feathers, which cover the chest and belly and maintain the body at a constant temperature. And tail feathers that help guide the bird's body like a rudder on a boat. Birds can be classified into several groups according to what they eat. Herbivores feed on plants and grasses. Their beaks are short and strong and can crush seeds and grains. When they only eat grains, they're called granivores. Carnivorous birds hunt and eat other animals, using their strong, curved beaks. Within the group of carnivores, there are insectivores that only eat insects, and piscivores that only feed on fish. These birds have pointed beaks that are long and sharp to help them catch the fish. Remember, birds that eat fish are called piscivorous. The last group, omnivorous birds, includes pigeons and hens, and they eat almost anything. So remember, birds are oviparous, which means they reproduce by laying eggs. Their mouths are beaks or bills, and they breathe with their lungs. Their skin is covered with feathers, and depending on the food they eat, they can be herbivorous, carnivorous, or omnivorous. So, now you know a lot more about birds.
Did you know that the fastest bird is the peregrine falcon? This bird of prey can reach up to 400 kilometers per hour whilst free-falling. Wow, it's so fast! Poor dove if it were to cross its path. On the other hand, the American woodcock is the slowest bird on the planet, flying at a mere speed of 8 kilometers per hour. Oh, check out its cute little babies. Did you know that the fastest land bird is the ostrich? This huge bird, actually the largest in the world, cannot fly, but it can reach up to 70 kilometers per hour. Running! It's faster than a moped. This tiny hummingbird also holds an impressive record. Besides